Apparently I never filmed an intro for the clutch video, and if I recorded one now, then it wouldn't really make sense. So here's the clutch video in its final form. It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. Let's go do it. It's finally done. I'm so happy. I measured the distance the clutch needs to be. So right now I can shift gears the way that it's pulled in. So clearly it's pulled in too much. So I'm gonna take it off, and I measured that. That's 7/8 from here to the inside lip here. And what needs to happen is it needs to just be pulled from wherever its 0 point is to 7/8, and that'll apparently be enough to shift the gears. The 0 point where the clutch is not engaged is 3/4 of an inch longer than what it was. And I do have some of that adjustment, so I made it a little bit longer. It was shorter than 3/4. And so I moved this 3/4 from here, you can see, to this black line. I measured from where this was to 3/4, which is probably about here. And I hope that works. The clutch brake line that I made broke. What a shocker. Reason it broke is because I was trying to put some tension under it, and it broke, and I tried to relieve some of it by cutting it out, but I cut the cables, and I need to replace the cable, and then it's worse. I'm gonna go to the junkyard and get a duplicate of that and line them up together. Hopefully that works. I'll be damned if this clutch cable housing for the Neon doesn't already have an adjuster on it. That's awesome. You know, like something that I might have made. All right, let's see if the clutch works. I rigged it up. I cut away some of the motor mounts so this could duck below so you can shift, because that was running into it, which you couldn't shift. And this normally is over here, but I've totally reversed it. Here goes nothing. This design is good. You can tell it's good because the clutch goes on easy, and it moves. The clutch moves like it should. I don't know why I didn't do this from the beginning. Maybe I should do something about that hole in the firewall right there. But other than that, I think it's good. I can't stop myself from modifying the clutch. Also, when I had it right but wrong, there was a stopper that's right here welded, so I ground that off, because what was happening is this was locked into place, like kind of like that. But now that I ground that off, it should just fly straight, and hopefully my clutch will work. I'm praying to God. I bought another one of these lines, partly because I cut that thinking there'd be a liner underneath. But anyway, now it's an opportunity to move this, thanks horse, retractable piece to about here where it's easy to access, and then I can bend the tube around here, and it probably won't get in the way of that. And then also I made that hole diameter bigger, so now this goes in there. Oh, this is gonna be cherry. Great. Took this piece and turned it into that. And then I drilled out the center so it'll seat on the other end of a piece of tubing. I need more hands. Like that. And it'll actually go in. Like that. Isn't that incredible? I got the clutch together. I realize it isn't permanent because I put a washer here, and yeah, I'm a silly guy, but you know, let's see if it works. Okay,
Come on, son of a gun. Okay, I figured it out.
Yes! Look at that.
Well, I just tightened up the clutch a little
running.
bit, and then it worked. It's amazing.
Broken. Yeah!
This is about when the clutch stopped working. What was happening is it was getting looser every time I'd press the clutch, and I guess I'd only pressed the clutch 20 times or whatever, but on the 21st it broke.
Making this hole bigger was a mistake, and I didn't realize that, but the clutch cable will work its way through, and then every time you tighten the clutch cable with the hollow thread, then it would just push through this hole right here. So now I'm welding up a piece that will contain the clutch cable and then keep it from going inside the firewall. Also, you can see it right here that the cable was scraping on the edge towards the inside. It was catching, which is not good.
I'm gonna weld this cup that I made to the firewall. That should go in there like that. It's not square, but who cares?
I think it's very clear that the stick welder and I are not friends. But I have a solution. In using the stick welder, I made a bigger mess than I started with. We'll see how I am with the MIG. I put my clutch back together with the new welded edition. I was playing with it last night. It seems to be okay. So, hopefully it works. On today's episode of I don't know how to make a wire clutch, when this was fully extended, I don't think that there's actually enough travel at the pedal. And when it was fully extended, it just kept finding a way to get loose. So I'm gonna add more travel to the pedal. The way I'm going to do that, world's squeakiest door. Anyway, the way that I'm gonna do that is lower the hole that the clutch is mounted to. Very simple. Maybe like an inch. And I'll see how that goes.
I don't even know what to say. This is so frustrating. Someone told me some time ago just wrap it around the dash, and it was actually working, and I kept pressing the clutch, and then eventually it broke. The wire. The aircraft grade wire. What the heck? It's a new day. I'm maybe ready to work on this again. You know, I could, you know, where the wires wrapped around the dash, I could just replace that like with a pulley wheel, but I think that's kind of not gonna make it easier. And now that I've got the welder, I mean, this is what's needed to happen the entire time, is put a little arm on here, extend it out, just like the Dodge Neon has, and it actually pulls the clutch. That'll be fine. Change the fulcrum, maybe like to here, and it'll come out. That'll be fine. But man, what a process. So here's what we have going so far. I added an ear here that will be taller. Add these tabs, and then I cut out this piece in here. There used to be just a horizontal piece across there. I squared up this flange. There used to kind of be like some extensions coming down around here. Got rid of those. Then on this piece, it was nice and machined, but I don't have a mill here. So it used to be this long, that long. I cut off the tip and made that shorter. The reason I did that is because when this is too long, the angle of the wire that's coming out here gets really sharp and it binds. So I think that'll help. Check out this ridiculousness. I used this picture to kind of estimate how I was going to weld the clutch. And you know what? It worked just fine. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Aaron modified Eagle Talon clutch pedal for a Dodge Neon. And it works. I just painted it. So I've welded ears onto here. That's where the original holes were for the bolt. And then I've welded a stop here. I cut out a piece here. Cut out some stuff here. I realized now that after I painted, I probably could like weld that seam, but that's just where it ended up. And then here on the clutch pedal, that's original. I bent the clutch pedal here. I added a hole here for the spring return. This is an original hole. I filled the hole that I made here. I didn't grind it flat. Oh well. This is where I linked up to the old pedal with the new pedal. This is part of the old pedal. This piece here is actually part of the old pedal. I tapped this out with 3/8 by 16. When the pedal is mounted, I have these flanges, these little washers greased up. And that's the stop right there. And this keeps the pedal from coming forward up to a certain distance. And I guess this is all it took to get the clutch working. I'm sort of proud of myself, sort of disappointed. All right. The last thing I'm doing for this clutch pedal assembly is there's this little piece of plastic that goes into this hole. And the top of the clutch pedal is where the aluminum piece that I made goes into. Oh, also I welded on top of the clutch pedal too. Anyway, so this is pretty crusty and worn out. So I want to see if I can make a new one out of Delrin and press it in there. And Delrin's a great bearing material, plastic. Very durable, and it'll definitely replace that piece of crap. I cut out my Delrin disc here. I'll drill a hole through it. I'll drill a hole through it, then kind of piece my way around because I don't have a lathe, and I'll make a bushing, and it'll be great. Check this out. I pressed in a new bushing. I made something that would kind of fit and just pressed it in with the angle grinder. I think that's a success. All right, is the clutch gonna work? I think it is. It went into reverse. Went into all the gears. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna drive it to the garage. I'm gonna go for a long drive. Dang it. Freaking miracle. Oh my gosh. Well, so I think that concludes the clutch. You just have to build another clutch pedal. Don't wrap it around the dash.